of the national chairman for both getting our copy but also for our custody, because sometime back in the previous elections we found we were not getting the declaration forms, so we are surviving on the mercy of EC. But now, from what we are seeing, all declaration forms are coming, and we have more and more district registrars and ONC district coordinators coming. We have in place mechanisms of reaching even to the minute kind of polling station anywhere. Let it be deep in Abim, let it be deep in Bundubujo, we are able to reach there and know what we've gotten. So by the time the declaration form comes to us, we've already cross-checked and we just confirm and see that indeed EC is announcing what is very clear. Of course, in electoral processes, the declaration form is very critical, extremely critical. So we had agents across all the 50,741 polling stations across the country. And we had 2 agents on each polling station and 1 alternative agent in case one of them either went rogue or fell sick or was stuck somewhere. So you can see the level of preparation on our side has been extremely high. So when I see some people complaining, running around when they couldn't even deploy agents, and I say, so you mean you wanted us to do your job also? Ours is to guard our vote, and we know our vote. Also, stop just using Worokoso. Show us clearly if you have any problem anywhere. Give us evidence, because for us we have evidence.
Electoral Commission. So, wano tukunganyizawo DRA forms zaffe n'okumanya kiddala status quo eri ku ground. Ddala bye batuwa byebyo byebivudde ku ground nga tukomparingamu n'abana abalina bitulangirira nga ssemateeka walagira aba National Electoral Commission. Twateekawo agents mu ggwanga lyonna okakasa nti tewali ku interceptinga na bululu bwaffe obwa president waffe, okakasa nti bye bagenda otusomera eri mu tale center yaabwe eya government oba eggwanga lyonna bikwatagana ne agent waffe ali ku polling station yaffe gy'ayina. Kyekyo we counteringa okulaba nti no toli ambushed kufuna pressure gye tutayina. So ne tuteekayo abantu be babeera ku ground nga batuwa batubira obusemina tugamba wantufunye buno wantufunye buno, kati wano kuŋŋaanyizo ze DRA forms ng'obukakafu nti in case ne wabaawo obutali bumativu tusobola okwemulugunya mu ssemateeka oba eri Electoral Commission tugamba ye nga mwatusomedde bwe biti naye ate DRA form etugamba kino. So ye papasi yaffe etuteekesaawo ekkuŋŋaanyizo. Nze mpulira ennaku y'amaanyi nnyo nti Balemanyi president wange agenda kufuna nga 9 kubanga mobilize nze ate essuubi tulina mu ye naye olw'ebyuma byammwe ebyo ebyakyankalanyiziddwa ng'abantu olwedde tubadde tubakunga bagamba ssaawa emu.
Thank you so much for that report. Now, right about now, we're being joined by Benon Mukwaya, who has been in Luwero district and is about to update us on what's happening there. Good evening, Benon.
Yes, good evening.
Take us through what's happening.
Viewers, my name is Benon. Here in Luwero, we've tried out to wait for the result, that it has been a hot plate. We had lots of the supporters of Rebel Separina Dennis, who is has been contesting for Katikamu North constituency. This one has won with 20,137, and he has been on a hot seat with Gaddafi Nasur. Gaddafi Nasur is an NRM candidate and has been won. He got 13,205. The race also had many people, including Kasaga, Ronald Bazanyanengo, who is a DF cadre, having 86. Kasule Umar, who is independent, with 213. Also, Ndaula Ronald, who is an independent.
Okay.
Ndaula Ronald, who is independent. Who is, I think, 5,599 votes. Then Secretary of the Benin is PPS. He got 160. That is him. When we tried to wait for Nakaseke South, we got a few things from that side. One, we received Seriko Rasaja Subi, who 3,000. And Luta Maguzi Semakula having 18,103. As per now, we've also received that South, and Hassan Kirumira Lukaride is the winner from Nook. He has got 19,534 votes. Karume Abubakar in second with 12,802 votes. So again, with 5,699. This one is an independent candidate. The rest also had Mwanga Alfred with 2,170. Chintu Michael, who is independent, with 260. Demakula George, who is democratic, with 96 votes. Zena Meris Ali with 600 in 36. And this means that he had left the race, but he appeared on the ballot, and the voters decided to give him 176. The rest also had Chimanje Irambi Peter, who is independent, with 149 votes. Patricia Magara, who is independent, with 82 votes. And Natembo Mili. Natembo Mili comes from PPS, and he won with 148 votes.
All right.
And then lastly was the Kwasi Ramuta Kitwa with 75.
All right.
Well, I tried to navigate through Nakaseke Central, where Honorable Chofa Togaye scored with 13,000. Scored 13,685 votes, and Alan Mayanja becoming second with 8,178. We are still getting the updates for Savannah region, and for now we are waiting for the woman MP Luero, and that is the battle is between Honorable Nabukenya Brenda and who is Nook, who is still leading the fellows. Yeah, we are still waiting for the updates, and now we are from the...
All right, Benson Mukwaya. Thank you so much for those updates. Of course, we'll be returning to Luero later in the day tomorrow to know what updates came from there. Over to you, Anod Mark.
Well, based on the conversation that you've been having with Benon Mukwaya and Luero, it seems there's still more to be done, and we hope that as we uncover those results, hopefully maybe by tomorrow, it should be done.
Yes.
Otherwise, right about now, we're swinging you over to Luboa, the National Tally Center, where Jethro Kasaiji is with the Minister, Honorable Minister Balam Barugahara, to give us a few insights from his point of view in Luboa. Jethro.
Well, thank you so much, my colleague Wadulo Mark, for those who are watching UBC Live. Thank you so much. We are still coming to you live from the National Tally Center here in Lubowa, and I should tell you that we are still waiting for Justice Simon Byabakama, who is the EC chairperson. He will be coming back at around 10 p.m. To give us probably the last update for the day, and not forgetting that tomorrow will be the final day on when he will be making the final declaration on who will be the presidential winner. Who will it be? Will it be candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni? Will it be candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu? Will it be candidate Gregory Mugisha Muntu? Will it be Nathan Nadala Mafabi? Remember, there are still 8 candidates in the race, but so far from the different polling stations, news that we have covered so far, 35,483 polling stations, those so far that have actually sent in their results coming in, making it 69.95%, and when you do round off, you get to around 70%. But I'll be having a discussion with the Honorable Minister for the Youth, that is Honorable Balam Barugahara. He will be giving us his projection, his overview. How has he seen this general election? Talking about democracy, is this the democracy that we talk about? Talking about internet, youths out there, we all have youths. If you're a parent, you have a son, a child, a daughter who is a youth, and part of the things they're asking about is the communication, the internet devices. A number of jobs have been affected. How will all these be compensated in one way or another? Honorable, you're live on UBC. Thank you for sparing time. Your general overview, projection of how far the election has been on your side, Honorable.
First of all, I need to thank the viewers who are tuned in to the national broadcaster. I want to congratulate all Ugandans who took part in the election exercise countrywide. Personally, I went and voted in Masindi Chijura, because you cannot promote protection of gains when yourself you don't take part in the process. So I want to thank the Banyoro and all Ugandans who have demonstrated their love to the president. On average, in Bunyoro, in Masindi, His Excellency the President, he has 72% using the district declaration form. In Hoima City, it's close to 70. In Bulisa, 71. Chinyandongo, 72. Chikube, 82. Kagadi, and all the other districts of Greater Chibale. Generally, in Bunyoro, we have done well. All our members of parliament, flag bearers, went through, apart from Hoima City, where Honorable Asinas Nyakato of PFF and Honorable Ismail Kasule of Alliance for National Transformation have emerged victorious, and they were declared by the Independent Electoral Commission. In the first place, I need to thank Justice Simon Byabakama and the commissioners plus the staff at all levels for organizing the most transparent, peaceful and credible election that many observers, I'm sure, their statement will credit it one of the best elections organized in Africa. I want to thank our Independent Electoral Commission. Every 5 years, I see they are improving quite much. The transparency of this election is even shown at the Tally Center, the National Tally Center, where we are now, whereby you click in a polling station, the district, sub-county, polling station, it gives you the accurate figure, the same as what is on the declaration form. And each candidate was allowed to have polling agents who picked their forms. Many people, this is an election which has been honestly transparent, because many big dogs have been thrown out. As you could be aware, a couple of colleagues, ministers, have been let down. They have been by the voters. That is how credible this election is. Political parties also have casualties. Honorable Semuju Nganda is no more. Honorable Segona is no more. Honorable Mpuga is close to no more. They have all lost. That is how That is how strong this election Ugandans have demonstrated. And they cannot blame NRM that NRM cheated. They have not been won by NRM people, other than, actually, it's other parties. Honestly, like now look at Honorable Semju Nganda. He lost to Council Musisi from National Unity Platform. Another National Unity Platform is winning in Mutundwe Masaka. Another National Unity Platform person is leading. So that shows how credible the process has been.
Honorable.
In Jinja, which we call a big city in the east, NRM flag bearer has lost to 3 new people, and we accepted. Even here in Kawempa and other places, they might win us. So what my appeal to Ugandans, especially to political parties and supporters, let us respect the outcome of the election. Then as regards to my projection as a mobilizer, we have done our work with our chairman, the president, the SEC members and Secretary General, plus the structures, all the structures. Our campaign was structure-based. Campaigns were conducted at all levels of the structure, right from the grassroots, from the family to the LC10 ward, to the ward, to the sub-county, to the constituency. So this election has been one of the best well-organized election. Now,
Honorable, before we go very far, what is your basis when you talk about transparency and how organized this election was? We did talk to some observers and agents from different political parties, and they are not actually accepting what has been part of the information that has been declared by the Electoral Commission.
You see, some observers observe on NTV, on UBC. They are not observing in the field. You cannot get someone who's observing by ear talk at a border stage, and you call that one an observer. Observer should be able to trail the vote where it is cast in the village, at the polling station in the village. How many of them have been able to reach Bulisa? How many of them have been able to reach Noya? How many of these observers have reached Obongi? How many of them have reached Koboko? Very few will confirm that they have gone there. So what I know is this election is one of the most transparent election. That is why you find even in opposition parties winning other opposition parties. That is credit where NRM had the candidates. Because where they are winning us, we had the candidates. Like in Jinja, we had the candidates where we lose members of parliament, where we are losing colleague ministers in constituencies. They are being won by either independents or other parties. Let people learn to respect outcomes of election. And I want to thank our president for his stamina. Actually, our president could have done even 600 rallies, but he was over-controlled by the Secretary General, who wanted him to do less rallies a day. But the president could have done 4 rallies in a day.
That was by choice?
No, not by choice. The president wants to reach everywhere. But also, it is nice that he didn't cover the whole country, reaching every constituency. That was very nice. He would have even scored 96.
But he was in every district, right?
Yeah, every district doesn't make every constituency. We have 4 constituencies in some districts. Like in Kampala, in Ruero, Bamunani, Kadia, a couple of constituencies. So our previous campaigns, we used to go to every constituency. Now this new method of campaigns, we are going to only one venue in a given district.
Honorable, you did talk about transparency and how credible so far the process has been. But
the process is credible and very transparent. That is why you see every party which participated in the election, they have observers here, tally center observers who are taking part in the tallying.
The polling agents.
They have been given a computer with a link where they can compare what they have and what is being declared. So far, none of them has challenged not even one polling station. So every result given to this computer or given at this center, it is verified, satisfied, and accurate. Even there is one of the polling stations where Muzai didn't get so many votes and Chagulanyi got votes. I've seen it is there.
Honorable, the fact that the internet was shut down, we do have a few people we've talked to outside there in the field, and they are already willing to challenge so far what has been said out by the Electoral Commission.
No, if they challenge, it is a constitutional right to challenge. You see, now that is a civilized way of doing things. If someone wants to challenge an election legally, he has a right to, because he or she will present what basis of our suit. So I mean, I don't see any problem. Someone challenges a constitutional right. It's by law, and they will always go and challenge, and the president will win them, because the president is a very humble man who respects the law and who wants everything to be done in a proper way. He wants the will of the people to be respected. Where the member of parliament has won, he says the will of people must always be respected. I've never seen a kind, humble man like that man.
Honorable, you did talk about...
With regards to internet, initially UCC said they had switched off, probably for security reasons. But then the latest I'm getting from my friends in Mombasa, a ship was passing by, it hit an internet cable into two. So they are trying to locate the other piece to connect it.
Honorable, that is information we cannot justify right now, but because the EC, UCC did release a letter that all Ugandans are actually following right now.
That is okay.
Even if
internet will be reinstated. The person who brought internet is the person you have voted. That is one of the gains you have. Did you have internet in 1986? Did you have it? Did your mother tell you that they had internet? But it was the country not running.
But things are changing, Honorable. We are moving in a world that is digital.
It's just a matter of days, maybe 2 weeks or 1 week, or they are working, our technicians are working to restore it. Let us trust in the president. The one who brought it will restore it. He's working around the clock. Our technicians are working closely. So what UCC told you, they have a right to tell you, and the facts that we know, as people who work in that telecom sector, we know that the cable was affected. And they are restoring it, they are fixing it.
How do you justify this? Why does this happen in this electoral process?
You know, the problem with you young people, you're wasting a lot of time on TikTok instead of listening to the message of the president. And those ones who have listened to the message of the president have voted him overwhelmingly. Can I tell you, the president won in Arua Central. He has never won in Arua Central. For all the times we have had elections in Uganda, he has never won in Arua Central. He's the winner of Arua Central. Arua, what we call Central Division, is the one who won. So people are loving the president. Now there are districts where you know where he is not to get so much support, like Kitugum, Noya, those other districts. He's doing so well. He has done so well. Everyone has listened to the man's message, and they are rewarding him.
Honorable, very many youths have been using the internet. They have been surviving on the internet, feeding their families. But this is something that has been off for now about 2 days, going into the third day. Very many businesses have been affected.
I'm sure the technical team the technical team and security, they are working around the clock to see that that is resolved. That shouldn't be a problem. That internet shouldn't be a problem. They are working on it.
Honorable,
cares about young people.
You talked.
He's the president of young people.
You talked about people accepting results and as and when things results keep coming in. Are you ready to face that challenge just in case things don't go your way?
You see, now this is where sometimes journalists you go wrong. You can't say things don't go my way when in opinion polls our candidate was leading by 80%.
It is not yet done.
Yes, the other day when you had an interview with him on election day, he told you his projections about 80%. I've told you this several times personally, that the way I've gone to every district of Uganda, personally, in my capacity, I anticipate we can score between 68, 69 or 70. We can. Because we have other factors held constant. So me, I believe 70 or 69 or 68, we can do it. We can score that. So I want you to believe in the process. So I cannot say, will I accept the outcome? Yes, I will accept the outcome because I will be declared the winner. Our party will be declared the winner.
In your opinion, Honorable?
In opinion, we will be declared the winner because even at 70% of votes collected, of declaration form collected by EC, our party is leading by 75%. Why don't I say 90%? So I believe the more they collect is the more other candidates are also earning. I've seen one of the candidates who had 5,000 Now, this evening, I've seen he has risen to 37,000. Then Honorable Chagulanyi had 1.2 million. By this evening, is at 2.8 million. And our President, Yoweri Museveni, is close to 7 million. So I believe by the end of the process, when all polling stations are filled in, our candidate could score. Our projection was 13 million, but we have gone short of 13 million due to minimal or low voter turn-up.
What could be the cause, Honorable, in your own opinion, your view?
The reason for low turn-up, one is Ugandans are very busy with work. Ugandans are busy with...
It's a public holiday, Honorable. Yes. Public holiday from yesterday and today.
Public holiday does not stop a farmer, does not stop someone rearing his pigs from working. The Ugandans who value public holiday to make money. People are making chapati, others were making mandazi, others are on their farms. Women are busy with their poultry projects, others are feeding their pigs. People are quite busy. So that could be one of the reasons. You see, when a country is economically prospering, when a country is prospering, the economic activities are honored and respected. So that is what I think the turn-up could have been due to the business of Ugandans who no longer have time to make oye, oye, or shout.
Honorable, you did move around Kampala. Are you convinced with what you saw on the different streets here within Kampala region?
Yeah, we had a public holiday yesterday and today. I hope you are aware. So when it's a public holiday, some people are resting in their homes, especially government workers are resting in their homes. Now, UBC staff, if you didn't have this broadcast, will also be resting at home. So we expect less turn up, and then we are crossing into the weekend. So when we cross into the weekend, unless the Secretary General or the President announce a victory party, many Ugandans will celebrate in their homes. I have a friend who bought a goat and 2 crates of beer and a crate of soda, only waiting to announce the President that Mzee has won.
Honorable,
people want to celebrate in their homes.
The D-Day is tomorrow. What should Ugandans expect after declaration on whoever will be the winner and thereafter?
I'm appealing to all Ugandans to celebrate in your homes, those who can celebrate. Those ones who can receive the results on Entebbe Road as we head to Kampala, well and better. But I'm appealing to everyone in their different districts to celebrate in a minimal way, because now people don't have so much money to celebrate all the time, and we don't want to block traffic that we are celebrating on streets, which will not be different from the other people. So we can have a minimal celebration of the technical team, of the working people here, yeah, so the people who are at the Tally Center, engineering people. So we can have a few people celebrating, delivering the certificate to our candidate or to his office. So people should expect a minimal celebration around Kampala, a minimal celebration around Kampala. But I want to thank Ugandans who have won, congratulate those colleagues who have won, colleague ministers and members of parliament. And then also I need to thank my president for allowing us work and putting in an enabling environment that has made many Ugandans participate freely in the electoral process. I want to honor the president, and I want to thank Mama who protects and who provides food to our father, the president, for making our president healthy and able to do the sacrifice. Like the president told you, he doesn't need you, you need him, because you need his brain, you need his experience as a bus driver. We cannot give our country to amateurs, people who don't have manifestos to run. So many Ugandans heard the president's message, and that's why they are saying we cannot lose this old man with a heart. We can't lose him. Let him continue ruling us. Let him continue taking Uganda to the next level. So
thank you.
On behalf of my colleagues who are here, the Secretary General, my senior brother Byarwanga, Moses, and everyone, please, let's wait for the Electoral Commission at all levels, not even in the constituency levels. Let's wait. The law allows 48 hours to declare results. So let us believe in the Electoral Commission. The results will be released. We have only 30% left to trail in. Maybe by the last brief today, we will be at 80%. Hopefully, we shall have our results and certificate tomorrow. I congratulate all the winners, and I sympathize with colleagues who didn't make it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister for the Youth.
I want to appeal to my brother Bobby Wine to rethink of his future by not wasting time in politics. Maybe he can take a lower level, like being a member of parliament, or else the president can deploy him to work in one of the departments. Because I worked with him, if I can run the youth docket well, I believe Bobi Wine can be a good ghetto president under the president's office. Okay. And he can do some good
Thank
work.
you so much.
That's my appeal to Bobi Wine.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Dr. Balam Baruga-Hara. Ladies and gentlemen, before I come back to the broadcast house, the Archbishop, the Most Reverend Kazima Mugalu did say that a vote is casted and it settles disputes. This is something that Ugandans across the country have exercised today and yesterday. So we wait to see what the EC chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama, will be telling us at around 10 p.m. Will this be the final bullet for the entire thing, or tomorrow? If what is going to tell us is lacking, what should Ugandans expect? But the D-Day is tomorrow. Mark, back to you at the broadcast house.
Thank you so much.
Tell me. What do you think?
Thank you so much, Jethro, for that update with the minister. Of course, interesting opinions coming from Minister Balam. But what do you make of Jethro's conversation with the minister?
Well, I must say that first and foremost, the Honorable Minister Balam Baruga-Hara is a man of many methods. And he's a man that will always have his methods work. And I think that this particular election is a big win for him, considering that he has gone in and out to mobilize the youth to support the incumbent President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And yes, he's a man of his word. When he says, most of the time he's either sure of what he's saying, or he will try to impose it on you to. So I think he holds some opinions, very strong opinions, I must say, that we could also discuss. So of course he mentioned a number of things. He mentioned the campaigning strategy of the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, saying that this time the strategy changed. The strategy was, before we used to go into each constituency of the district, but this time we made the President visit each district at one venue.
Yeah.
And I think for a president of his nature, being that he has party structures, to the grassroots, like the minister mentioned, of course not taking anything for granted, I think the strategy was still effective, and coupled with the letter or the strategy to try and get all the grassroots structures activated. I think he sent that letter in just 2 days before the election. Okay. I also want to hint on the issue of the internet. Of course, Jethro asked, there's so many people have been affected by the internet blackout. Of course, we have businesses like SafeBorder, Jumia, that are running 100%
delivery business
on the internet. Okay. Yeah. And Honorable Balam's response is that he thought at first the UCC was, but he brought us fresh information. I don't know whether this is confirmed. I need to really do some research. But of course, the Honorable Balam says that there was a ship that, intersected with several internet cables in the Indian Ocean, causing an internet blackout in Uganda, but not Kenya, not Tanzania.
So sheep do fly or swim.
I don't know. But I really want to believe that this is information that is not yet confirmed. So please do not take it as it is. But also, I must talk about the voter turnout. Of course, we're looking at 69.9% so far as per the Electoral Commission. We are seeing that about 7,744,000 voters have so far voted, and this represents 69.9% of the votes that have been put in. Contrasting this with the 2021 general election. The 2021 general election, by full-time results, by the time all the results were put in, they were at 10 million, okay? But we are left with 1 or 2 more sessions with the Electoral Commission, and we're already at 7 million. So 7.7 actually. So that leaves us roughly with about 2.87. Yeah, 2.7 votes, 2.3 actually, 2.3 million votes to catch up with the full voter turnout in the 2021 election. So, of course, I must say that at this point, the voter turnout is still low, because if we are registering so far 37% of the registered votes being the ones that we are holding at this point in time. So it's very possible that we might register a very low voter turnout.
This election.
So, well, that also pushes and points to several other aspects. Of course, questions of why was there a low voter turnout will rise, and the Electoral Commission will need to explain itself on this. Questions of how come, of course, last time we were experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, it wasn't necessarily a public holiday, but we were facing a global crisis. But of course, to this season, we're in a good year. The economy is back to 6% in the pre-pandemic, from the post-pre-pandemic times. So I think that, yes, he mentions the point of people are busy working, a farmer can't take leave. We have to feed. So I think we will eventually have to wait for the results. Yeah. So right about now, we have to talk to the Secretary General at Lubowa, and I can see my colleague Timothy Nyangweso is live and waiting to update us. Timothy, take it away.
Welcome back to the National Tally Center here in Lubowa, where the Electoral Commission is doing the tallying of both the presidential and the parliamentary elections that are happening and ongoing. We have had about 4 sessions with the chairperson of the Electoral Commission giving us exactly what's happening there. But right now I've been joined for an exclusive with the Right Honorable Richard Tudong, the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh, we are excited. Good evening and congratulations to the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Congratulations to NRM Party and congratulations to Ugandans.
Your overview of both your campaigns but also how you've got here, is this the result you expected?
Definitely we expected this even before we got nominated, because we knew elections do come after every 5 years. So as an organization, you have to prepare that within this period, we shall be having election. And so you plan yourself through. And I'm sure you have seen that because we planned this earlier on, it was easier for us to manage the campaigns and to manage the process up to where we have reached. We started this by confirming and updating our members' register, because that was a very key thing to us. We needed to know who our members are, where they are they voters or they are not. When we did all that and we validated our record, we were now ready for the campaigns. And again, the next thing was our presidential candidate was demanded for by party members. That means the party itself had total confidence in the candidate, and they asked him to offer himself to run. Now the third one is the party organized itself in a way that the structures were involved in the campaigns. Every leader of the party got involved in this campaign. And so it became smooth for us to run through. And it was just a roller coaster, one after another. We're moving on so well with the campaigns, and up to where we are. We're just waiting for the declaration of our results.
Right, Honorable Tudong, when you look at this election, anything that is there for you to take home as the National Resistance Movement, but also the incidents that happened, you have heard of them. What do you think about them, and what do you think about this election process this time around?
Yes, unlike the past, this has been a little more smooth and peaceful, with those few incidents that happened. We know as a party that we still have a lot of work to do with the young people. We still have a lot of work to do in urban areas, because as you see the results that have been coming, we won everywhere in this country with the exception of a few places in the central region. Now, for some people who might not be able to understand, the central region is like a magnet that has pulled people from all over Uganda. because our GDP, close to about 60% of the GDP of the country, is produced from the center here. And so this brings on board so many people who are coming to look for jobs or look for opportunities. And so the population mix in the center can blind you to think that this is a demonstration against the party or the party is not popular. But no, to us we believe these are a reflection of social pressures that these people find in the urban areas. And therefore, their support to the party or lack of it are not ideological. They are just based on the social pressure and the conditions they face at a particular moment. And therefore, if we focus at fixing this, I am 100% sure that our performance will improve in these urban areas.
What is it about the national resistance message that resonated with the people, that the numbers begin to reflect that? What was that about your message?
The president is always a teacher. You know, when you're a good teacher, your teaching plans are always very clear. And when he starts to speak and you're a good student, you'll know, because he keeps reminding you of where you have come from, where you have reached, where you're going, and how you should go to where you want to go. And so he spoke about peace and security as a foundation to everything we are doing. And definitely the people of Uganda know that there is no another leader or a party that can handle the issue of peace and security better than NRM and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Two, he spoke about development with its social and economic elements: roads, electricity, schools, health centers, water, all that, which are already there, the development infrastructures. Then now the third, he spoke about the people. We have peace and security, we have these socio-economic development infrastructures in place, but the people are not hooked to these projects. How do we get the people to benefit from these advantages that we have? And that is why you speak about household income, household poverty, making sure every household is productive, to the extent that they even went with the videos showing around who has done what in this area. Now, to me, that was the masterpiece of this campaign. Bringing the Wananchi, the voter, to understand that they have a lot to play in order to fight poverty in their households. It is not only government. Government will give you the enabling environment, but you as an individual, you have a lot of work to do to fight poverty in your household. So this message went around so well, and people received them, and it became a plus for us. Yeah.
I know you must have had a really hectic schedule, but my last question to you, Right Honorable Todong, is you are the leading party, the biggest, as you call it, the mass party. How do you galvanize this country to pull together, especially to ensure that the households you're looking at, the individuals, are got out of poverty?
We have been doing this through our preachings that focus at the mass line. The mass line means that we concentrate on things that unite the population, not things that divide the population. And all this infrastructure development we are talking about are things that unite the people, and just to empower them to be productive. Once you have what you're producing, and you know what to take to the market, your relationship with your neighbor will be product-market relationship. It's not about religion, not about tribe, but it will be about product. I produce soybeans. Somebody else is buying my soybeans. So it is in my interest that the buyer of my soybean is peaceful, so that I earn. That is the kind of relationship we are preaching in Uganda. And it has worked up so well, to the extent that when government was doing rationalization of agents, I don't know whether you recall, that you could see the debate in Uganda moving sub-region by sub-region, where sub-regions are protecting products. To me, that was lovely. And I challenge my people of the north that Buganda is speaking about coffee and matoke, Toro is speaking about tea, Ankole is speaking about dairy products, Busoga is speaking about sugarcane. What are we speaking about in the north? From Teso up to West Nile, what do we have for the market? We have advantage of cereal production. We need to improve our cereal production. And so this is about leadership. What can the leaders do? Lango sub-region, for example, is like the hub of cereal processing. But what is West Nile bringing on board? What is Karamoja bringing on board? What is Teso bringing on board? Yes, fruit factory, fruit farming and all that in Teso, but we need to improve them, to boost them. And so when we start zoning this country into product lines, you'll see how beautiful Uganda will be.
Right Honourable, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you. That was the Right Honourable Richard Tudong, the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, especially giving his flowers on what their master plan has produced, especially with the results that are going to be announced in a few minutes by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. In a short while, he'll be joining us here to give us the last session for tonight about the results, so we'll be leaving it to that. For now, we hand you over to the broadcast house.
Thank you so much, Timothy Nyangweso, for that update, and we hope to hear from you later in the day tomorrow, hopefully. Now, in more news, coming in from Bukedea, Becham David Okwera beats the incumbent Ikojo John Bosco with 68,103 votes in Bukedea County. Ikojo, who only managed to secure 10,458 votes, has served as a member of parliament for the last 10 years. Bukedea County had a total of 82,493 registered voters, where 81,421 were able to vote, while the rest of the votes, totaling 1,722, were rendered invalid and damaged. Here are the updates of the jubilation and an announcement of the results in Bukedea district.
In accordance with 77 subsection 1 of the parliamentary declare the total number of votes cast for all candidates is as follows. Okulu of Independent 2,100. Ikojo John Bosco of Independent 10,458 votes. Odege John Michael Independent 402 votes. Okweli Becham of NRM 6,103 votes. Presidents of Independent 308 votes. The total number of votes cast for all candidates are 81,400. Total number of visited votes 1,072 votes. Total number counted 82,493 votes. Are the titles of Bukedea district with section 77 subsection 1 of the Act Cap 177 declare David Becham, who has obtained the largest number of votes, to be the elected candidate of Bukedea County, Bukedea district, Member of Parliament. Asante Nubat 74, Nubat 3,001, Awinizi Joseph votes. Mugisa Mutoyera 51 votes. Mumba Sirunga 86 votes. Nana Mafam Nathan 1,028 votes. Yuri Kautan Sitting 109,900 votes. The number of votes cast for all candidates 14,000.
Bukedia is purely NRM dominated. So the competition was between an NRM. There were those who were independent, but they're also part of NRM. So that's why I was actually the point saying that the competition was between NRM, though for them they stood as independent. Me, I was holding the flag, and I had to defend the flag which was handed to me, one, by people during the NRM primaries, and then secondly, I also had to defend the president who handed me the flag on the 5th of November. I had dropped the flag, or if I had failed, it means I would have disappointed the people, primaries, and I would have disappointed the president in person, also handed me the flag. That's why the team who came to support me in the campaign, with the importance and the love of the party, that actually saw me achieve what I have today. I think because of campaigns, like I said earlier before, it's not because it's the issue about transforming ideology and also giving them the message party has been giving them before. I had to follow and I also had to follow my own manifesto. And those things are actually beyond all my other competitors, where no other person spoke about what manifesto they had. Instead, they resorted into of character assassination, which is not the principle of as a party. NRM as a party is a uniting force, development. They believe in so many other things, and unity, the things which the party is actually standing in. So that to achieve what I have gained, mode of transforming with the services, not just with the excitement.
Yes. Yes, as you've heard, the vibe which is behind me here hyped, but I want to tell you that Honorable Becha Mokware won with 1,000 votes, which is a big margin. So I wonder, Mama, how does it feel to have your candidate win? Ayala mengono ibwesoke the Okos candidate MP Bukedia County yala maite nyesi ibala sobe Bukedia keda NRM egogongo di langi yijimi NRM no anejai ebicham Okwere David angeda botini nwi pu otomo Bukedia district nyesi kari kuju. So basically Hajarat NRM is very sweet and they feel like carrying Honorable Okware. So I'm one of the campaign managers. Yes, how does it feel to have a win? My dear, I can speak. I am overwhelmed with happiness. We have worked this and we shall continue working with him. We are very excited as and we are happy. We want to thank Right Honorable Speaker and Papa for really giving our candidate a flag. And therefore, we are going and we shall continue guiding our candidate to make sure he fulfills the manifesto. Thank you very much. And your name, and this is one of the elders we have. Tell us, how does it feel to live in a time where politics is changing?
Laboratory Margaret are my names, and I have been in this from 1997 up to today. I feel very excited and happy. I have been foundation for Bishop, Vice Chairperson, Motors, and now I'm very happy that is there. And I predicted comment direct. So let me hear the mood. How does it feel?
these are the people who are behind Okware, and I'm here right in Bukedia district, and this is a honorable for Bukedia. Thank you so much for watching UBC. We shall be bringing you more updates. My name is Jamila Olia District.
And of course, congratulations to the Honorable Okware, and of course, thank you, Jamila, for giving us those updates from Bukedia. Bukedia is also the home district of the Honorable Annette Antamong, the Speaker of Parliament, the Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Well, now we're going to be switching you off to Adjumani, Moyo, and Obongi updates with our reporter on standby, Amanyala Allen. He's reporting, and he's going to be giving us what's fresh from these three locations. Alan, how are you, and what's it looking like in Adjumani?
Yes, good evening, Wadul, Mark Arnold, and good evening to all our viewers. We are coming to you live from Adjumani, and of course, it has been a very hectic day here in Adjumani. Since last evening, we've been doing tallying center. We've been at the tallying center, and of course, the whole day we've been at the tallying center right here in Adjumani. Now, Adjumani election is interesting. Wadul Mark and our viewers, of course, Adjumani has two constituencies. Adjumani has the Adjumani East constituency. And of course, in Adjumani East constituency, we have Honorable Mamawi James and Honorable Dulumak Enzo and Honorable Echima Pascal. But of course, from the information that we got from the final tallying, Honorable Mamawi James, who is incumbent, by the way, and of course, he stood as an independent, and of course, battling it together with the NRM flag bearer, that is Honorable Dulumak, who actually carried the flag of that is for the National Resistance Movement, but unfortunately he lost because Honorable Mamawi felt that he was cheated during NRM primary. So this time around, he managed to claim the victory. He scored 18,149 votes, and then Dulumak managed to get 14,000, that is 682, and then Etima managed to get that is 317. But of course, also for women member of parliament, we have that is Honorable Deska Ababiku, who is the woman member of parliament. She is the incumbent, and she is the one carrying the flag of National Resistance Movement. But of course, she also managed to win the vote, and of course, by that is the 35,773 votes, and of course, her closest contest was Raleo Rose, who also managed to get 22,111 votes. Of course, there are three in the race. There is a lady by the name called Avusia Lina Pangi. She managed to get 877. Now, another interesting one, that is the side of the west, that is the Adjumani West constituency. We have 4 people who have been battling, including that is Honorable General Moses Ali, and together with Honorable Tandrupase. But of course, General Moses Ali is the incumbent member of parliament for Adjumani West constituency, and he is the one who carried the flag of National Resistance Movement. And of course, he won the election by, he scored 12,844 45 votes, and of course his closest contest is Honorable Tandrupasi Patrick, who is a flag bearer for Forum for Democratic Change, who actually scored around 11,000 770. And then Dragagas came third by, he scored around 522. And then Ijo Stephen, who is carrying the flag of Noob, managed to score 294. So that is the result. That is here in Adjumani. So Honorable General Moses Ali has retained his seat, and of course, after the release of the result, we did speak to Honorable Tadrupasi, who is the flag bearer for Forum for Democratic Change. He said yes, he has accepted, but he cautioned that the people of Adjumani made a great mistake. Of course, we know Honorable Moses Ali right now, because of the condition, Tarupasi is saying that they are going to really see that, of course, Ugandan, especially the people in Adjumani West Constitution, should prepare. Now, moving to Obongi. Obongi is also another interesting rally in this particular election period. We've seen Honorable Caps Fungaro, FDC strongman, has managed to come back after winning that election from the other side. He got 8,503. That is defeating the NRM flag bearer, Dr. George Didi Boka, who managed to get 7,607. And for the woman member of parliament, Maneno Zumra, who carried the flag of National Resistance Movement, was also voted out by Joyo Harriet, who managed to get, that is 9,403. Then Maneno got 6,790 votes. That is for Obongi. So on Obongi, NRM has officially been voted out. Honorable Fungaro is carrying the flag of that is Forum for Democratic Change, and then also this lady Harriet, she stood as independent after she has been defeated by Maneno Zumura in NRM primaries. That aside, let's move briefly to Moyo district. In the Moyo district, the race is also interesting. We have seen that Honorable Tom Aza Aleru has maintained his seat. He is the incumbent and is the one who carried the flag of National Resistance Movement, and he managed to get 17,170 votes. And then his closest contestant, that is Dr. Lagu Charles. Of course, he managed to get 11,080 votes, and then followed by Anyama Gilbert, who managed to get 931 votes. And then the last one is Wio Temaya Lilian, who also competed for that particular race, and of course he got 551 votes. Now, that aside, of course, let's go to woman member of parliament. Of course, you must be aware how honorable, that is Dr. Moriko Joyce Kaduchu, who is in campaign, but of course she has been voted out during NRM primary, and again also she decided to go to stand as an independent, and of course in this general election she has also been voted, and of course Chandia Benedict is the one who actually managed to go through, and of course she is the flag bearer for National Resistance Movement, and of course she got 15,398 votes. And then the Honorable Minister, that is Moriko Joyce Kaduchu, managed to get 14,000 14,488. So, Wadul Mark, that is what is happening here in Madisab region, and of course, Jumane has got its result released at around 8:20 this evening, and of course, we have been struggling to see that we actually, also join the rest of the country to submit in our report concerning this particular raise.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Amanyala, Alan from Adjumani, for those updates in Adjumani, Moyo, and Obongi. Thank you so much. We really do think that. So, what's left now? What's left to be? What next in all these three districts?
Well, Madisab region is a unique region because of Madisab region people have always been voting NRM. When you check at the history of national resistance movement throughout, for example, let me give you the statistics of Jumani. In the previous election, of course, people of Jumani decided to score. They voted for His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That is, in terms of percentage, 75.6. But this time around, it has increased. It has increased to 81.6, and of course the same to Moyo, the same areas. But I think also the Ugandans, especially this part of Madisab region, have understood the gospel that the NRM is preaching, and that's why they are giving them that particular thing. But particularly for the people of Adjuman East constituency, they feel they need to pay a respect to Honorable General Moses Ali for the contribution that he has rendered to help the people in this particular region.
All right. Thank you so much, Amanyala Allen. That gives us a very good picture of what's happening in those three districts. We really do look forward for more updates from you. We really hope that you are on standby when we need you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening and good night as well.
All right, good night. You're still watching the UG Polls 2026 here live on UBC TV and Star TV, Rail, and I cannot say much. I think that also Magic, I'm informed that we're also streaming live on Magic. I'm also informing you that any minute from now we shall be transferring you to the National Tally Center for the fourth session of the day, where the other set of results shall be coming in. But right now, before we get there, let's refresh your minds on where we are right now. Maureen, 69.9%.
Those reports. I'd like to just jog the memory of our viewer concerning the National Polling Station summary, which constitutes 69.9%, which is also 35,491 polling stations returned out of 50,739 polling stations as per 6 p.m. 16th January 2026 results declared by the Electoral Commission. Now, the current voters' turnout is at 8,216,341 cast ballots, also 37.9%. And our candidate leading the race now is incumbent Yoweri Museveni of the National Resistance Movement with 6,003,657 votes, also 74.92%. Coming in second place is Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi of the NUP with 1,709,474 votes, also 21.33%. Nandala Nathan Mafabi also coming in with 157,111 votes, also 1.96%. Mugisha Muntu of the ANT with 44,367 votes, also 0.55%. Mubarak Munyagwa of the CMP Common Man's Party coming in with 22,232 votes, also 0.28%. Robert Kasibante of the NPP coming in with 24,564 votes, also 0.31%. Joseph Mabirizi of the Common Man's Party coming in with 16,813 votes, also 0.21%. And lastly, Frank Bulida of the RPP Party coming in with 35,315 votes, also 0.44%. As we see the pie chart here, with the NRM taking the lion's share, followed by the NUP with 21.33%. Now, we'd like to bid you good night.
Yeah.
And thank you for being with us. We are so privileged to serve our country as it writes its history. My name is Maureen Babidia with my colleague.
Well, before we go, Maureen, I want to know something. By the 15th of January 2026, how old were you?
15th January 2026?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Do you want me to say my age on air?
Yes, I want to know how old you are. How old?
Crazy.
Okay, were you above the 18 years?
Crazy business.
Okay. So did you vote? Let me make it simple. Did you vote?
No, I was actually working.
You were working?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Interesting. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark, ladies and gentlemen, and she's Maureen Babidia from the team. Allow us say good night, and this has been the UG Pulse 2026.
You're welcome, Lord Chairperson of the Commission and the Commission, please, you may have your seats. Everybody, please have your seats. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the heads of delegations that are here, the representatives and agents of presidential candidates, representatives of political parties, heads of missions that are observing these elections, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, you're welcome, and I would like to take this opportunity to hand over to you to address the nation, which is waiting for the message of the Commission this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and good evening, our distinguished guests who are here, and the fellow Ugandans who are watching us on the various TV channels. We are here once again to update you on the current status regarding the provisional results of the presidential elections that took place yesterday. Now, this session is the fifth we are making since yesterday in releasing the provisional results. Registered voters remain 21,649,067. The total number of polling stations, 50,739. Total number of polling stations from which the results have been received so far are 41,177, constituting 81.15% of the total polling stations. The performance per candidate so far is as follows. Bulira Frank Kabinga, 39,488 votes, representing 0.42 of the valid votes cast for the candidates. Kasivante Robert, 28,080, representing 0.30 of valid votes cast. Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert, 2,105,921, representing 22.66% of the valid votes cast. Mabirizi Joseph, 18,847, representing 0.20% of the valid votes cast. Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera, 49,259 votes, representing 0.53% of the valid votes cast for the candidates. Munyagwa Mubarak Serunga, 25,480 votes, representing 0.27% of the valid votes cast. Nandala Mafwabi James Nathan, 175,331, representing 1.89% of the valid votes cast. Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, 6,851,406, representing 73.72% of the valid votes cast. Total number of valid votes for all candidates, 9,293,812. Invalid votes, 230,897, representing 2.42% of the total votes cast. Total votes altogether, 9,524,709, which is 44.00% of the registered voters. Spoiled votes, 32,760. So that is the position as of now. The next release or update will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. However, we are going again to screen the details of the summary of what I have been reading to you on our screen, so that the members can internalize where we are deriving these summaries or these figures from. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience, your cooperation, and for the keen interest you have exhibited in getting to know what is unfolding in the results arising out of yesterday's elections. We shall continue to update you until we reach the final tally, which should be tomorrow before 5 o'clock. I thank you and I wish you a blessed night. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Ata ogenda watuula.
Wendi ndeta kundi.
Karim.
Thank you very much and good night.
Okay, we are coming to the end of today's broadcast, and we are closing with another update that we have just received from the Electoral Commission chairman and the whole commission, where he has shared another update of the results as they are coming in, flowing in from the polling station up country now. And from there we have received, so far we have now received 41,177 polling station, which is 81.15% of the total polling station. Remember, the polling stations in general are 57,000. Yes. So, from those, Bulira Frank has 39,488 votes. That is 0.42%. Kasimante has 28,080 votes. That's 0.03%. Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu has 2,105,921 votes, which is 22.66%. Mabilis has 18,847, which is 0.20%. Muntu, General Muntu, has 49,259 votes, which is 0.53%. Munyagwa Mubaraka Serunga has 25,480 votes, which is 0.27%. And Nandala Mafabi has 175,331 votes, which is 1.89% of the vote. And Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the NRM has 6,851,406 votes, which is 73.72%. And all that is of the 9,293,812 votes cast, the valid votes cast. Yes. Muruganda Kusta.
Before the good night, please, there is dinner if you have not eaten.
Gwe atulaba ku Star TV. Tufunye obululu obusembayo nga buno buwezezza polling stations emitwalo 4,177 nga bye bitundu 81 n'obutundutundu 15 ku polling stations emitwalo 5,700 nga bwe ziri awamu twakafunako ebitundu 81. kakati ku bululu obwo bwakaveeyo Frank Bulira alinako emitwalo 3,488 bwe butundutundutundu 42. Kasimante alina emitwalo 28 n'obululu 8 bwe butundutundutundu 3. Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert wa NUP alina million 2 n'emitwalo 10,521 bwe butundutundu 22 n'obutundutundutundu 66. Mabilizi alina omutwalo 18 ne emitwalo 18,887 bwe butundutundutundu 2. Ate General Muntu alina emitwalo 42,259 bwe butundutundutundu 53. Munyagwa Mubaraka Serunga alina obululu emitwalo 2,448 bwe butundutundutundu 27. Songa Nandala Mafabi wa FDC alina emitwalo 17,331 ke katundu kamu n'obutundutundu 89. Yoweri Museveni wa NRM alina obukadde 6, obululu obukadde 6 mu emitwalo 85 mu 1,406 bwe butundutundu 73 n'obutundutundutundu 72. Obululu bwonna omugatte obubaliddwa nga bulamu buli obukadde 9 n'emitwalo 29 mu 1,382. Bano kwe bafunye bonna buno obwayonoonese buli emitwalo 23 mu 897. Songa obululu bwonna awamu ng'ogasa obwonoonese ne bano bwe bafunye buli obukadde 9 mu emitwalo 52,4 mu 709. Kakati bonna bwe batwe bayimiridde wetwogerera. Tugenda kuddamu okufuna okumanyisibwa obulala obunaababuze enkya ku ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya. Bwekito bwe kiyimidde tukwebaza okubeera nti obadde ogoberera. So another update will come in early morning tomorrow at 9 a.m. Just keep it UBC TV, Star TV to have the update. We thank you so much for having been with us. The interviews we had, the whole coverage that as it has gone today and all the other 2 days when we started. Thank you so much. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomo. On behalf of the whole team here, we wish you the best of the night. Let's catch you tomorrow as we continue with the update. We expect the final result and the announcement of the winner, presidential, tomorrow here still at the National Tally Center, Lubowa, Machindi Sabagabo, Wakiso District. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and back to Broadcast House.
I call upon all Ugandans to ensure that
29 hours after the polls closed, the picture is starting to take shape, but the final verdict is pending. Now, preliminary results are showing President Museveni at the top and taking lead at about 74%, while the Electoral Commission is waiting to announce or declare